What's up, guys? It's the Duel Factory once again with another video. This time I'm being showing you guys my Shiranui zombie deck profile. Quick shoutouts real quick though. For those of you who actually watched the stream this hour, thank you for supporting that. I'm very excited to start streaming at the store and streaming for the channel. I know a lot of people have been asking if we were going to do that, and I finally got the setup for it, so I'm very excited about that. Also, we're almost at 1,000 subscribers. I'm very excited about that too. It's been a long time coming, and I'm happy to see the channel is finally making progress. I've been doing it for a while, and I never thought that we'd actually get to the point where we're almost at 1,000, and I'm really happy that we're starting to become a bigger channel. That being said, for those of you who did watch the stream, you did see me play a couple games with this deck. I have made a couple changes to it since, especially with the new cards coming out from Invasion Vengeance, if I can get that set name right. But that being said, I'll go ahead and get into the deck profile for you guys so you can see what I'm playing. So to start off, we play through Shiranui Solitaire. It's the best card in the deck. It's a Lone Fire Blossom for your Unizombie, and in rare cases you sometimes get Spectral Sword, but it very rarely happens. But you want to see this in every opening hand. It's a 1-card Omega or 1-card level 8 not XYZ, but level 8 Synchro for that matter. So you definitely want to see it as a 3 of in the deck. I play 2 Spirit Master. I've been going back and forth the numbers between this card because opening it is actually not as bad as it seems, because if you this Brilliant Fusion and Solitaire and you open like Omega and Reflection, and that seems to be really good. It's also another way to get your Solitaire to resolve a turn, like if you open Foolish in this, or a way to get the Solitaire into the graveyard. But I don't think it's necessary at 3, so I play it at 2. And then I play the 1 Spectral Sword. This is part of the combo that lets you do your Crystal Wing turn the following turn. Plus, it's just a good generic tuner, especially for the archetype, and you can revive it with Solitaire when it's banished. So we play it 1 of. And then for the non-Shiranui zombie cards, we play 3 Mizuki. It's the best zombie. It's been played in every zombie deck since its creation. Being able to revive your cards from the graveyard and be able to make synchros with it's really good. Plus, Omega is really key in this deck, and you can recycle this card with Omega, so we definitely play 3 of it. Only 2 Unizombie. This card's kind of strange, to be perfectly honest, because when this card came out, like, you wanted to open it every game, and then now that we have Solitaire, it's inferior to Solitaire in opening hands, because Solitaire in itself is a synchro on its own, where Unizombie requires 2 cards set up. So even though opening it's not terrible, you still want to see the Solitaire more than you actually see the Unizombie, so that's why I cut it down to 2. But you still play it. It's necessary in zombie decks. It gets everything going. And then that's it just for the zombie component of the deck. For the other cards, we play 2 Summoner Monk. It's another way to get to your Solitaire. Plus, it's good for generic rank 4s. So we play a big spell count. 2 Fairy Tale Snow. I play this over Trick Clown and any other light target in the deck. It has great synergy with the Shiranui cards because they get their effects off when they're banished. Plus, being able to Book of Moon something during your opponent's turn is really good. And then we play 2 Garnet. It's the Gymnite that best requires the Brilliant Fusion engine targets. And then that's it for the level 4 monsters, actually. And then I do play a level 3 engine. I play 3 Terratop and a Takedown board. So the theory behind this is it allows you to make Levier the Sea Dragon. And for those of you who have played zombies in the past, Levier in a zombie deck's broken because you're always banishing zombie cards like your Mizukis, or Plague Spreader was getting banished when using its effect to bring it back. And it's just an instant way to get your cards out. Well, it's also another way to open Solitaire, because in this deck you play Gold Sarcophagus because it triggers off your Solitaire effects, it triggers off your Spirit Master effect, and so on. So it's another way to open your Solitaire if you open Terratop and Gold Sarc. Plus, you can also, going second allows you to make Breaksword, which Breaksword's really good going second XYZ in my opinion, plus it also is huge spot removal. So I felt like it warranted playing the Speed Raid engine in it, just because having access to the Levier is that important to a deck like this. So that's it for the monsters. Onto the spells. We do play 3 Pot of Desires. Being able to play this card is huge. Being able to get deeper into your deck is huge. Plus, it's also another way to get certain cards into your banish pile that Omega could bring back for you, like your Rise of Full Heights, your Fairy Tale Snows, your Mizuki, stuff like that. So I feel like this card is perfect for this deck, to be perfectly honest, because even if you do banish the cards, they're never gone permanently, so you just put them all back. 3 Brilliant Fusion. Being able to send the Fairy Tale Snow, being able to get the Seraph Knight, because having an additional body on the field to make synchros is really big too. Plus, this deck actually benefits from having 2 normal summons in the turn sometimes, so I feel like it's and it's also a great starter card. So I feel like it's a definite addition to the deck that you need. And then 3 Instant Fusion. I only play the 1 Norden in the extra deck, but it's another card you want to see in your opening hands because it just allows you to make your big boards even bigger, or it allows you to get started. So we play 3 of that. And then the only other 3-up spell we play is 3 Gold Sarcophagus. So it's like I was saying earlier with Terra Top, it's another way to open your Solitaire. And it also doesn't utilize your normal summon, keep that in mind too. But it also triggers off your Spirit Master and your Solitaire effect. Your Solitaire effect is a monster reborn from your banished pile, and your Spirit Master pops up a face-up card. So it's another way to deal with like cards like Vanity's Emptiness and stuff like that too, with Spirit Masters in the deck. And for the one-ofs, I do play 1 Burial from a Different Dimension. As long as zombie decks have Mizukis and stuff like that, I'm going to continue to play this card in the deck. Like, this is a huge power card. Opening it sucks, but top decking it in late game is really good, so we're definitely going to play it. 1 Soul Charge, you're playing zombies, this card's an auto-win. The 1 Upstart Goblin for consistency. I don't believe in playing over 40 card decks, even though we're playing Pot of Desires. Like, I feel like you want to keep it at the 40, so we're always going to play that. The 1 Foolish Burial, because it's a zombie deck, and anytime you've played zombie decks in the past, like, everything in the graveyard does more than it does in your hand, so it's definitely in the deck. And then the deck only plays 3 traps, but they're like 3 power traps, so we'll go with it. So 1 Bottomless, because I do play Rafflesia, because it's part of the big opening board you can do in this deck. 1 Vanity's Emptiness, it's the best trap card in the game. It's an auto-win every time you draw it. And then this deck can do the Rise to Full Height combo with Omega, making it to where your opponent can't attack you. So, and plus, if you banish it off Pot of Desires, you can put it back with Omega, and your opponent can't deal with it. So, we play it in the deck. That's the main deck. It is 40. On to the extra deck, we do have the Piccolo token and the 2nd Gen Steel Squad. You do have to play these to win. I mean, why wouldn't you, right? To the actual monsters, the 1 Norden, like I said earlier, it's only instant fusion target, so it's the only one you need, to be perfectly honest. 1 Seraphonite for the Brilliant Fusion. Usually I would play 2 since I'm playing 2 Gemnite, but the extra deck space in this deck is awful tight, so I just play 1. 1 Revive King Hades. You can summon it off Spectral Swords effect, and I thought it was the best zombie to summon, just because its effect's actually really important, because you can negate effects in the graveyard, so like ABC pieces don't get their effects off, BA monsters don't get their effects off. It's the best generic 6 zombie synchro, so we went with that. I am playing Black Rose Moonlight Dragon over all the level 7s. I was playing Clear Wing for a little bit too, but I decided to cut it to make room for extra space for other cards. But this card's here to return its card to the hand. The only thing that sucks about it is its effect's mandatory, so you kind of got to be careful when you summon it. On to the 8s. We play 1 Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. This is one of my favorite cards, and I love the fact that it cleared boards by itself, so we definitely play it. 2 Cyframe Lord Omega. This is the best. This is the go-to synchro. This, like, you make this every game. You put them on the board. If you put multiples on the board, you should win the game. Just recycling all your cards the entire game and having a 28 beater that your opponent can't deal with, it's too good not to play. This deck, however, you don't need 3 because you're not like a hand loop. You're not a hand loop strategy. You're more of a grind your opponent out of resources as your monsters continue to plow through theirs. So 2 of it's just fine. We play 1 Void Ogre Dragon. You can make it because you have a Dark Tuner, and this card's really good. Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. This is the monster you go into with the Spectral Sword play with Solitaire in the graveyard. And it's the only way to make it in this deck, but this card's powerful and you need to play it. I do play one of the new synchros from Invasion Vengeance. I do play the Vermilion Mech Dragon, or Vermilion Dragon Mech, I'm sorry. It's a generic level 9, which this deck, honestly, the only other generic 9 well, I shouldn't say generic, the only other 9 that you could go into was Trishula, but this deck can't make it. It's impossible for the deck to make it, but having a generic 9 that you can go into that can out specific cards is really important. Like, for example, this card can out anti-spell if you have spell cards you need to be able to activate in your hands. It moves monsters out of the way. It moves stuff on your side of the field out of the way. It gets you a tuner back when it dies, so it can get back your Unizombie and your Spectral Sword. I mean, it's a really good generic 9, and it's the only one that you can go into the deck, so I felt like you needed to play it. And that's it for the Synchros. For the XYZs, like I said, I play the Levier. In zombie decks, this card's broken. Like, you should play it. Definitely, you should definitely make the room for it if you're gonna play zombies. 1 Break Sword. I thought I needed a going second XYZ, and this fits the bill perfectly. Plus, it's spot removal. And that's it for the rank 3s. And then I only play 3 rank 4s. I do play Castell. I thought this was the best generic rank 4. Plus, it moves cards out of the way that you have a hard time doing, and it forces out cards like APC, Buster Dragon, and stuff like that. So I went ahead and played that. I was only playing Rafflesia at first for the other rank 4, but I decided to play this. This card is actually really good. It's really good against ABC because they can't go into the ABC Buster Dragon without me negating its summon. They also, it's good against, oh, what's that deck? Metal Foe. Because they can't pendulum some of their Volflames and their Kirans with this card being face up, because it'll just negate and send to the graveyard. Which this card is, I think it's a very good generator for it, and I think, like, say for, like, certain points, like, you're going first, and you're forced to activate Pot of Desires, and say you banish your Bottomless, so making the Rafflesia makes no sense. You can shotgun this, depending, because the most popular deck right now, shown by numbers, is ABC, and this card's really good in ABC, so it's a good turn 1 XYZ at shotgun if you banish your Desires, your Pot, not your Pot, your Bottomless off Pot of Desire, so that's why I play that. And then the last rank 4 we play is the Trap Tricks Rafflesia for the Bottomless. And that was my Shiranui zombie deck profile, guys. Always remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hopefully next time I bring you a video will be me thanking everyone for hitting 1,000 subscribers. Thanks for watching, guys.